problem is like there are people in this country. What was the number that we googled that have an IQ lower than 85? It's pretty 15%. So imagine 15% of people that you can basically trick with anything. Get them to join a cult. Get them to sign up for some fucking telemarketing swindle.
Do you think it's IQ, or do you think it's...
IQ is interesting, right? Because IQ doesn't necessarily mean intelligence, because it depends upon your education. Because some of the questions in IQ tests are predicated on a knowledge of math and understanding of how to do equations. Benefits of a different choice. There's people that are strategizers, and they're really good at like business. They're really good at figuring people out. They're really good at figuring themselves out. There's an intelligence to that. So the problem with IQ, in my minds, I know a lot of people with very high IQs, but their life is a clumsy mess. So it's like it really is dependent upon what is the mental horsepower you have. And how are you applying that mental horsepower? Are you Gary Clark Jr. and applying that mental horsepower to music, and you're a genius, but you're a genius in music? Or are you Lex Friedman and you're making, artificial intelligence and working coding robots? Are you Elon Musk? You're making spaceships. Like, what are you doing with this intelligence? So IQ, there's limitations of it, but at least it's an indicator of how smart a person is. It's an indicator. It's not the only indicator. There's other factors that I think are much more intangible. They're much harder to measure and weigh. That's my take on it. I think it means something.
I think if your parents opened up your eyes, something, it's like I do that thing, and it's true. I really do. I'm mad at my guidance counselor. I really am deep down inside, because, he was telling you all those job possibilities and college possibilities, but he forgot to tell us about New York being right across the river. And all the possibilities you had over there. I would have done this shit earlier.
You mean stand-up?
Everything. Yeah. I would have tried anything earlier.
The thing is, no one's ever gonna advise that you take the riskiest chance in show business. No one's ever gonna advise that you...
I didn't want to be a show business guy, but I wish you would have told me, you want to take acting lessons, you go to the city.
That's show business.
I didn't know that fucking... When I'd watch a movie, I thought you just walked on the fucking thing and they gave you a part. That's how stupid I was when I was young.
It's not stupid, it's uninformed.
I thought, right, when a stand-up did a special, I thought he just showed up. And they had a camera and he goes, I'm ready. And that's what I thought. I didn't think anything. I didn't really know. I'm mad that he didn't open up. I see the kids I grew up with. You got to see the people around you. And some of us saw some things and some of us didn't. Some of us saw that was different than just getting a job and working 40 years and getting a watch. I don't think they opened up our minds to that stuff. But there was a lot of stuff that we didn't. In my house, she would fucking tell me crazy. When I was 6, she would put a fucking gold chain on me as a little man, and she'd make me put it out. She'd go out, you could walk the streets like that, so somebody fucks you know. I mean, and now I think about these stories and I go, what was she doing?
Right, why was she getting you to go outside with a valuable piece of jewelry and act as a little kid?
I remember one night I was getting ice cream on 88th Street and the gold chain was hanging. And when I went to get the cone from Mr. Softy, he goes, that's a nice chain. And he looked at it, my mother was watching through the window. She was like punching in the fucking face. I'm like, 8. Don't let nobody touch your face. Like she just did things, Like don't go in a car with people, like just general shit that they banged into your fucking head.
Well, that's good. All that stuff's good.
I was out there. Like, I was out there every fucking day,
It's a different kind of intelligence, right?
It's smart. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's also informed. You're informed. You're informed about the dangers of your environment. And some people, if they grow up in the suburbs and they go to really nice schools, they're they don't understand the rules.
Look, I'm worried about kids today.
You should be.
Listen, I didn't know this. I just spoke to somebody in my old neighborhood. And we were talking about something. They go, you should see the neighborhood at 2:30. Fucking, you can't drive. And I go, why? She goes, McKinley School, where I went. She goes, the parents picked them up in cars. I go, what are you talking about? We walked those streets home. There was just 3 blocks of block from the neighborhood. She goes, not anymore. Those kids don't walk those streets at all. And they live right there. Yeah, I mean, it's not like across town, like, you know. You gotta get those kids out.
Yeah, they gotta get out of the house for sure.
Get them out.
How many kids are just at home playing video games?
Oh, it drives me fucking crazy when my daughter goes knocking on people's doors. They're like, no, we're inside playing video games. You know, it's 74 degrees. Yeah, I just called Mr. Soft. He's on his way. The fuck? Yeah, I got Mr. Softy's number in my neighborhood. First time I met him, I gave him an edible. He's like, where you at? And I told him, does it ring? Does it ding, 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 ding? When he comes too early, he comes at 4. He's still, you know, they're still at work. But when that motherfucker comes, Mr. Softy, I would give him edibles. You know, those kids. Tell him, put them in my milkshake. He blends it in the milkshake.
That's hilarious.
So, you know, intelligence, yeah, like, I know a lot of people are fucking smart, but they make mistakes.
Yeah, they make big decisions.
And you go, what the fuck?
In your life, you know, relationship decisions, business decisions, yeah, friendship decisions. Intelligence is complicated. It's very complicated. But the point is, some people, their mental horsepower is very low. It's not a matter of what they apply themselves to. It's a matter of they don't have the resources. Their brain doesn't work good. And I've met a lot of people like that, and I know you have too, where you're like, this guy ain't never going to be a genius. Like, there's no inspiration in him. There's nothing enthusiastic. He doesn't have a thing he's really into. Doesn't have a thing he likes. He's just dull-minded for whatever reason. I don't know if it's genetics. I don't know if it's just a roll of the dice, or maybe the way he was raised. I don't know. But some people just, they don't have a good brain. They just don't. So those guys, look at that fucking Nigerian prince email. Like, this is my ticket out. Scraping up coins, putting quarters and rolls, bring them to the bank.
I believe in faith. Like, if you're broke and you go put $2 in the second ticket, because there's $175 billion. I believe in that. I believe in all that type of stuff, Joe. But
That's the biggest scam.
or what's that?
Lottery.
Well, I'm not talking even when I was the numbers. It's 3 numbers. Yeah. Put $5, you win $2,500. Okay. And those were small. Oh, you know, in the 70s and 60s, in the black communities, Spanish communities, Italian communities. That's a way of hope.
Yeah.
Your Sicilian grandmother wakes up in the morning and says, oh my God, I had a dream about peppers.
Yeah.
Okay, peppers. And also your grandmother yells, peppers, that's 68.
Yeah.
You know, and all of a sudden you put a prefix on it, 568. And, you know, this is your trip to Italy. This is your trip to buy, this is your chance to buy your son a car. It's like that whole thing. But it's something that you have a chance at.
It's fun too.
It's fun. You know,
The problem is same thing as the problem with drinking, same thing as the problem with everything else, is that people lose their fucking minds.
it's an
And
excess.
then it becomes everything. I told you about my grandmother, right? With the numbers.
Yeah, yeah. What's the loan shark doing?
She went to jail. My grandmother went to jail for 6 months because she wouldn't rat out the people that were running with numbers. Yeah. Yeah. We'd go to visit grandma. Where's grandma? Grandma's visiting Aunt Josie. Like, she was with Aunt Josie for 6 months. It was ridiculous. Yeah, she was knitting for the fucking guards in prison. She wouldn't rat. So they put her away for 6 months.
For bookmaking. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. So those immigrants, those people with dreams,
Yeah.
I see that. They just fucking call you and go, hey, if you lend me $5 or tell an evangelist, whatever the fuck you're saying.
Yeah.
Look, I'm even, I hate to say this in public, but I'm down on like fucking charities and shit.
Well,
Because they don't get the fucking money either unless you donate to St. Jude or something like that. And, you know, some guy driving a BMW. And the people I sent the money to, you know, and it's happened to us. We saw it, we gave money, and nothing happened. And you're like, what the fuck, guys? So now you just give it to Ray.
Have you ever seen those charts show, like, the money you give to charity, how much actually goes to the cause? How much of it is just overhead? It's some places it's like 90%.
It's ridiculous.
So like 10% of the money goes to the charity. It's a very inefficient thing. And then you have things where the people that are running it are making enormous salaries. And then they're like, look at the Black Lives Matter thing. where the girls were buying $6 million houses. Like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? They're like, oh, we use this for events. It's just, that happens with so many charities and so many charitable organizations. And then there's charitable organizations like, there's foundations that are set up just as tax breaks. So there's like tax breaks involved if you have a foundation. It's a charitable foundation that works towards good causes, like maybe climate change, or maybe, something along those lines, health, or the global health. And then you get involved in that. It's a nice way to avoid paying taxes. You move money around, you put money in the foundation, you kind of move it around. It's these guys that are involved in charitable organizations. The thought behind it is beautiful. Like, wouldn't it be great if people donated all this money to charity and we could fix a lot of things? But what you're really doing in a lot of ways is you're pumping up the business of these charities. And then they pump up their advertising revenue, they pump up their social media profile, their campaigns, their this, their that. And then they get co-opted. They get co-opted by companies, corporations, pharmaceutical companies, different mandates and narratives that they'd like to promote. Next thing you know, charitable organizations are a part of the propaganda machine. And it's all being funded by enormous amounts of money. And most of that money does not go to the actual cause itself. So pull up a chart of where the money goes. Try to find out where the money goes. It seems like a good chart that shows like when I was various Red Cross.
I bumped into another one. I was going to Catholic school. And she told me that when people are looking for you to help, when you're on the side of the street, you're asking you to help. That could be Jesus in disguise. So it fucked my world up. So I started donating as a kid. The first person I donated to was the black kid with the flies on him that they sent me a picture.
Yes, I was trying to.
He wrote a letter.
Jason had that bit about it.
And I never got nothing after that. I'm writing letters. Right back. One of them get made it to the 6th grade. I was so fucking pissed as a kid. And then I was doing the heart association books. Like, that was my shit. And trust me, I scammed off the top. I'm not gonna lie to you. Because I was going to my mother's book on it, making like $10 a mile.
Right.
I would joke like $3,000. I think I was a good kid. Finally, like halfway the third year, I'm like, they're gonna get light this year. $3,000 fucking dollars.
So look at the Red Cross. What's up? That wasn't too bad. Okay. Let's see what we got here. What percentage? Okay. So this shows you all the money that comes in and how much of it actually goes to programs and how much of it goes to administration, how much of it goes to fundraising. So Red Cross looks pretty fucking good. Red Cross shows it's like 90% of the money goes to programs. Only 3.5% goes to administrative and 6% goes to fundraising. So this is what we donated to. Remember when we did those shows in San Diego right after the fire? And I'm like, we can't take money from these people. They just had this massive fire. Let's just donate all the money. So we donated the money to Red Cross because that seemed to be the best one. St. Jude's, 72%. And then it gets, when you start going down the line, it starts getting sketchy.
Most of these are, this one.
They're pretty good. Wounded Warrior's a little weird. Yeah, but, they still, at least 60% of it, or close to 60% of it goes to the actual programs. What's the worst ones, though, Janet?
The worst one is a different chart.
This is a different chart. I want to see the worst ones. Those are good ones. Red Cross has always been thought of as one of the best ones in terms of the amount of money that actually goes to the cause.
These are mostly UK charities,
Do they have American ones? Or worldwide ones? Let's see that one. That just shows what people are spending on. The worst in terms of the amount of money that goes towards the cause. The top 10 worst charities. It says Kids Wish Network is number 1. Disabled police officers, 4.4% goes to program expenses, and 94% goes to professional fundraising fees. That's crazy. Disabled police officers counseling center, 94% of it goes to fundraising fees? That's bonkers. Right away, you're like, oh, okay. I see what's going on. Look at the cancer survivors fund. Hey, they survived. That's what they get. 9% goes to programs. 87% goes to fundraising.
They also, I think a lot of times they make the name something close to like the good one. Probably a really good firefighters foundation. It's not.
Right. And they call themselves the Firefighters Charitable Foundation. Only 7% goes to the program. 85% goes to professional fundraising fees. What does that even mean? Professional fundraising fees. But a lot of them are like that. But you gotta also think, if you gotta run a charity, you gotta pay people something. Kids Wish Network, look at this. They raised $127 million. They paid the solicitors $109 million. And they spent percentage on direct cash aid to the actual kids is 2.5%. 2.5%. Look at the Cancer Fund of America. Less than 1% went to the actual thing. Direct cash aid. Well, this is direct cash aid and paid to solicitors. Who's the solicitors? Who counts as a solicitor there? Does that mean paid to the organization? And then they only pay out that much to the people?
Soliciting costs. That'd be probably trying to find
Overhead. It's overhead. It's everything, right? Yeah, so it's mostly a scam. Look at the fucking International Union of Police Associations. Look at that one.
That's the reason I quit.
0.5%.
That's why I quit.
That's
When I
crazy.
worked for the cops, that's when I found out. 3 years I worked for the cops. There were donations on the phone after I got arrested. I started in Boulder. And when I went to Seattle, I did it there. And then up in Seattle, I found out what the cops were getting. I'm done. I'm done. You give me $50, I'm giving you a sticker on the back of your cars. When you get pulled over, they know.
Yeah.
You donate. And these guys are showing up in Maseratis every day with the bonus. I'm like, fuck you.
It's like the thing in LA with the homeless. Yeah, Coleon Noir said the heads of that. He told me they were getting like 6-figure salaries. I'm like, no way. And there's some of them are making 240 grand a year.
No.
Taking care of the homeless. That is not being taken care of. They're not doing anything about it. They have to keep the business rolling too. That's the thing. Once you have 20, 30, 50, whatever people making 6 figures, all that money keeps coming in. You have all those mouths to feed, all those mortgages, all those people. Now you have an industry. Now you have bureaucracy, and you're never getting that back. You'd have to have some crazy dude that comes in like, who's that guy from Argentina? The guy that just became the president of Argentina with the wacky hair? That guy's amazing. He's like, everybody out! Everybody out! He kicked out everybody. He cut that budget down to nothing. Yeah, he got rid of all the bullshit. All the bullshit.
It's really crazy when I worked for the cops. I loved it. It was great. I had a great time in that office. I'd be up there smoking dope. But
With the cops.
it was like one cop that he didn't give a fuck. I'm over here raising money for you. But even he was on the scam.
Yeah.
It's like, come on,
But
man.
when you have money that's being donated, like cash that's being
Come on.
donated, it's gotta get moved around.
It's like, you gotta help these fucking people out, you know?
Yeah.
And look at now. You go, when I came from Cuba, when I was a little kid, to learn how to do anything. The reason why I learned how to do anything was because of the least athletically. I swear to God,
Yeah.
everything. Shooting, fishing in Central Park, boxing program, you shot pool. What do you do? You saw me up to shoot pool.
Really? They sound like
Yeah, right on there, 88, in Amsterdam.
it's a smart move.
So I was always indebted to those people. Always in my heart, because when I was a Spanish kid, they took me in over there, they fingerprinted me. They take you to the precinct, you shoot a 22, they give you the target.
Oh,
Your
wow.
little thing, they give you like a little badge, and you're like, ah. And so I always wanted to work for them. Like, that was it. I always, and then after I got in trouble, I'm like, I owe them that. They were very good to me. I was the guy that fucked up. So I always worked for the cops. I always tried to get fucking people to donate the stickers or, bulletproof vests. and all that shit. And then with the comedy at the benefits in Seattle. Even though I got arrested 6 times, it never worked. It didn't fucking do anything.
Well, maybe you would have got arrested a lot worse.
A lot worse. Yeah, it's crazy. When I found out, I was like, I'm not doing this. And now, you know, you want to help out. Something happens. Hurricane relief. I'm like, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because it's, you know.
Right.
And you feel like shit. I'd rather see somebody give it away. Some guy's hungry. Yeah, just go give it away. I'm not giving leftover food or whatever. Just give the guy 20 minutes. His own decisions. If he wants to snort it, go. I don't give a fuck. It's not my problem. But I did my job.
The Red Cross seems like a good one. But also, wasn't the Red Cross one of the people that was helping people map out the way to illegally? Wasn't that one of the things that the Red Cross was doing? Google that. But that could be also that the Red Cross is a legitimate charitable organization and it realizes that these people are going to do this no matter what and show them the way to do it that's safe. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it. I mean, showing them the way that's safe to me seems like, you know, like almost an ethical thing to do if you know this is happening. And then providing them aid along the way so they don't die. That seems like, you know, the whole immigration thing is very complicated. You know, you came from immigrants, I came from immigrants, my grandparents were immigrants. But it's just the way they're doing it, where anybody can get through. It's so wild. So the Red Cross has provided maps to migrants traveling towards the U.S. border. Now, what is the reason? Is the Red Cross giving maps to migrants? The amount of the social media is real. Different versions have existed since at least 2018. Some have been distributed by the International Committee of the Red Cross. The ICRC is a consortium of Red Cross agencies, including the American Red Cross. The map is a part of an informational safety pamphlet provided by aid organizations, including the National Red Cross Societies, to migrants traveling to Central America. The pamphlet also includes resource information like where to find food, shelter, and medical assistance. While the map has been around since at least 2018, American Red Cross partnered with the Mexican Red Cross and others during the COVID-19 pandemic to promote these safety materials. The Red Cross logos appeared across the top of the map. The American Red Cross logo was removed in 2022 after the COVID-19 partnership expired. The current pamphlet containing the map shows the current partners are the National Red Cross Societies of Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. It does not seek to encourage or discourage migration, but rather to contribute to mitigating the vulnerability factors of this population during the migratory.
I can live with that too. That's fair.
Yeah, that's not encouraging people to do it. That's saying they're doing it. Let's make it so at least they have like a safe way to do it.
Listen, man. This migrant situation is turning everything on. New York City, Chicago, Atlanta, you know. And yeah, tax money, and New York's giving you $10,000 now. An ATM card, right? They give you $10,000 for your rent.
Something along those lines, yeah.
You know, and
I get stuck in the raft.
I don't know. There's a lot to say. Like, you know, look at those fucking vets, how they get treated. Look, you know, so
I'm gonna send you this, Jamie. See what's going on in Paris? They were trying to get Jews out of the country. They started a riot at the airport.
who are they trying to kick out?
Illegal immigrants. I'll show you. Jamie, I just sent it to you. Yeah. And they're like, no, we're not going. They're like, you have to go. There's too many of them. We're like, no, fuck you. We're not flying. They started a riot at the airport. They were trying to deport them. And they're like, we're here.
Listen, all I remember is one thing, Joe. And I use this, and I'm not saying nothing bad about anybody. How was
Look
it?
at this. Give me the vibe. This is a full-on Donnybrook at the airport. They're beating up attendants. Security guys are getting fucked up. It's just wild shit, man.
So they got them over there, too?
Yeah, they have a lot of migrants in Europe. It's basically, it happened right after the pandemic in mass. It's just massive amounts of migrants here. It's almost like it's on purpose. It's not on purpose,
But it just seemed like there just wasn't migrants coming in. What I was telling you before was, I think I told you last time, I saw what the Mario boatlift did to my area, Hudson County, not in 1979, but I saw it 5 years later. And then I saw what they were doing in San Francisco. When I got to San Francisco in 85, it was a huge population.
San Francisco. So this is the people that took off
From Mario in 78,
This is
79.
when Fidel kicked them out.
Yes, he kicked out 160,000 people. We didn't have records on these people, so we didn't really know what they were about. They could just tell you what the instructions, you know, and they didn't know. So, is that 10 times?
Right.
That was 100,000 people, 200,000. This is 8 million or something like that.
Yeah.
Right, that's come through.
At least.
You're not gonna feel this today. You're gonna feel this 5 years from now.
Well, they can feel it real soon, depending upon who the people are and why they're here. You know, the most troubling version is sleeper cells. The most troubling version is that there's military cells that exist here. Terrorist cells.
Chinese will come in.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're growing wheat.
Are they? Chinese?
Jamie, go to the videotape. Chinese are buying farms. You were just had somebody on here that was talking about the Chinese are buying farms.
Yes, they're definitely buying
We
food.
think they're doing with those fucking farms. Raising fucking sushi. No. They're fucking growing reefers.
Department of Homeland Security memo first reported by the Daily Caller received as part of the Freedom of Information Act request said that more than 270 unlicensed cannabis cultivation sites in Maine were operated by Chinese nationals.
Who the fuck you think you're dealing with, Joey? Wow.
275 grow-ups in Maine.
And the weed is on fire up there in New Hampshire.
Is it?
No, they say that's the best weed right now, New Hampshire.
Really?
Somewhere up there, New Hampshire, Maine, they say the weed is so fucking strong. See that?
Look at that.
Yeah, they're growing fucking
So,
weed.
what is the legalization of weed in Maine? Is it legal there?
I'm not sure.
It's legal in some states.
Maine, Hampshire, I think.
How much cannabis can I possess? Adults 21 years of age or older can possess up to 2.5 ounces of a combination of cannabis, cannabis concentrate, and cannabis products, including no more than 5 grams of cannabis concentrate. How many plants can I grow? Mainers can grow cannabis for personal use. That's reasonable. Is that your phone? Something ringing. That's you, bro. It's not ringing like a phone. You get the old school ring on there. You pick that? Yeah. Yeah, and Jersey's buck wild, right?
What do you mean? I just started going to weed stores in January. I said, you know what? I'm done with laughing gas. I gotta expand my horizon, see what's out there. And the first one I went to was a Neptune. And they were impressive. It's a big fucking joint. I haven't got the name, but it was pretty impressive. Second place I went is 15 minutes from my house, Joe, right by the doctor's office in Freehold. Holy shit. And that's when I discovered rhythm. Because I was like, listen, I'm here to see the doctor. I don't want none of that Jersey fucking swank. And everything's in containers. It's completely different, you know. And I got this rhythm. 36%. And I'm like, this is great, dog.
Affidavit for probable cause.
From where?
From the Chinese thing and Chinese immigrants in Maine.
It says, we are in prison. Please come and save us. We are here. It gives the address. No cell phones. We were abducted from China. Passports were confiscated. The boss is a woman, 5'2", about 45 years old. No means of transportation. The manager is Asian, black hair, 5'6". A lot of marijuana is grown on the first floor. A lot of finished products. No escape from the house. Only work, but no salary. I want to leave here. We tried to escape but failed. We were beaten. Please come and save us. Whoa. So they got slaves working, making the weed in Maine. Yeah, Shanghai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that shit's strong. That's the shit that the Boeing mechanics are smoking.
Isn't that crazy that
It's fucking crazy.
there's slaves in America right now growing weed for China?
Let's see where this is gonna go. It's fucking interesting.
That's crazy.
I saw this a couple of weeks ago. I read the article. I'm like, oh, and then that guy said it on your podcast.
We said about farmland, yeah. But
Farmland.
I didn't know it was happening like
What the
that.
fuck you think they're doing? They're growing fucking bean sprouts and soy sprouts? They're going for it, Jack.
Well, they're controlling farmlands on military bases. That's what's scary.
And a lot of Chinese were coming through the border with these guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, military age.
A lot of Chinese.
Yeah.
So let's see where this hand is getting played.
Not only a lot of Chinese, but they have Chinese stops where you can go. Everybody speaks Chinese along the way. They have a Chinese restaurant. Everything's written in Chinese. Chinese signs everywhere. So they have like a very specific, organized route to get to America. And these guys, all young, fit guys, coming to America. What are you doing? Like, what the fuck is going on here? We're just basically sitting ducks.
We're waiting.
Yeah, we're sitting ducks. And there was a big warning today. Homeland Security is warning about terrorist attacks in America. That's what scares me about this fucking election, too. I'm not saying that they would do this, but I definitely think they have in the past. Like, allowed things to happen just so they up on restrictions and laws and scare people more and get people one way or another. Scary shit.
Look at that weed guys, my friend.
The weirdest, right?
The fucking weirdest.
And ever in your life, could you ever imagine things being so bizarre as they are right now?
They've been bizarre for about 5 years now, where you just can't believe the shit you hear.
Yeah.
So, you know what, let's stick to my camp. I'm good here.
It was bizarre in 2017, but it wasn't bizarre like now.
You know,
This is insane.
Diddy gets arrested. I mean, just everything.
Everything.
The bridge getting hit.
Yeah.
It's something every fucking week.
Every day.
You know, Trump 480 million.
Yeah.
You know, they need it by Monday. It's just fucking. I thought Mark Cuban would bail. I didn't know who the fuck was gonna bail him out.
Yeah, how's that? I think they knocked it down to 175 billion. They asked him how he's gonna pay it. He goes, cash.
That's worth 6 point something billion because of the
Yeah.
social.
Right.
It's not.
Right. The whole thing, I'm not a financial guy, obviously, but I think the whole thing is liquidity. How much money do you actually have coming in? How much is it tied up in real estate investments, holdings? Trump's got buildings, hotels, resorts. It's a lot going on. How the fuck can you pay attention to all that shit? Can you imagine? Running some kind of a business empire, trying to pay attention to everything.
Dog, I met him when he was fucking at a football team.
Really?
Yeah, he owned the fucking Generals. That's how I knew Herschel Walker and those people. That's how I met those dudes.
When was this?
Fucking 85. Trump
You
owned
met
the
Trump in
A
85.
long time ago.
What was he like in 85?
Hello, goodbye. I don't fucking know. It's not like we hung out. I was scared of him.
Why?
Because it was like, I told you, we got out of jail. I was supposed to have a job selling siding and doors and saddles and electrical equipment. And they were sales in New Jersey. And when I got out of prison, I go, I'm out. Can I come take the job? He goes, I can't. I'm going out of business. I go, what happened? He goes, Trump built something. He was going to these little hardware stores like ours. Told us to go fuck ourselves. We're done. I know this in 88.
What do you mean?
At that time, supposedly, he would build something. It's like you coming to somebody at a little restaurant and going, I want to build my own fucking steak. And, you know, he would go to people and say, I'm going to build this and then use your lumber or whatever the fuck. And since there's so much contractors, there's subcontractors and subcontractors, they would stiff their bills. They weren't paying their bills.
Really?
Yeah, this is one out of the life. You can look it up. This isn't something, you know. And that's all I remember from Trump. I met him in 85, and that was my only thing with Trump. You know, if you're from New York, you know who he is. You can hear his name.
Yeah, I remember hearing about this with you, actually, now. You were telling me that there was with contractors, stiff small contractors.
Small contractors go downhill. You know, run downhill. So now I gave you all the doors I had for your project. I don't just want to build in one house with one window. I'm giving you everything out of your arm. Yeah, you gave me a deposit. Maybe sometimes not. Maybe I'm so excited to do business in Trump. I got such a small place that I forget everything. You know, whatever the fuck happens.
Yeah.
So that's what happened in 88. I mean, I don't know the whole story, but he mentioned Trump. That's all I remember from that fucking guy.
I would also imagine if you're doing some big projects like that, there's probably a lot of people involved.
A lot of people
making decisions.
A building? Yeah. A building? He's the GC. He takes bids for everything else, right? That's how it usually works.
Is that what Trump does as a real estate developer?
I don't know how it goes down, but there's a GC, general contractor, and then there's windows, wiring, you know, all the different departments. You don't know what everybody's doing.
Right.
You got 20 people in your fucking building.
Right.
You know, when you built the cloud, how many people are putting there every day?
Yeah, a lot.
You don't know.
Right.
You don't know. You're not a contractor, so you don't know if they're doing the wall right. You know, you just trust, whatever. So this is all I remember. That was it.
Yeah. Well, the whole construction business was always shady. It was always tied up with the mob. Like, I knew a couple guys who had no show-up jobs.
Yeah.
Like the Javits Center.
Yeah.
You just get paid. Concrete. Yeah.
They own concrete.
That was the thing. The mob would make deals whenever any sort of job was getting done. They'd have a certain amount of no-show jobs for their guys.
Always. Always. That's why they get insurance. And that's when you arrest those guys, you go, what do you do for a living? In the carpenters.
Yeah.
Carpenters. You don't even know what an inch is. You know how to measure 6 inches, you fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a scam. But it was how they avoided taxes too, right? Because taxes was what brought a lot of them down. That's what brought Al Capone down. Tax evasion.
Tax evasion.
Yeah.
But the other guys were pretty smart. They had the millionaire club, the bid club. They would only do $2 million bids or something. They would take $2 million right off the top of the mob on every job. Are you fucking kidding me? Just like you kidding me, every job in New York, you know, it's well known that when the little guy from Arizona was over there with Gotti, he controlled construction. Like that was his fucking thing. You know, you couldn't get anything built when that working.
Imagine if you were in New York City at that time and you're trying to build buildings that do deals with the mob. And you got to do deals with Sandy Bull.
Well, here's the deal. Like I remember in 80, 90, I was roofing. And the company was in Jersey, my brother-in-law. And I asked him, you know, why'd you pick up this job? And he was telling me it's just so difficult. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, take the dumpster. That dumpster that they pick up every day and take off and they bring another one. Colorado, $200. That same dumpster in New York was $2,000 a day. That's how inflated the prices were. $1,800 difference. It's fucking crazy. That's what the cost of doing fucking construction, you know, in New York.
Well, it was always a corrupt town. Like, that's why it took the UFC forever to get into New York. It was,
You gotta pay the right. Look at people waiting for licenses.
yeah.
I know people in Jersey waiting for licenses. I landed. I got a license. You gotta grease 80 fucking people. 80 people. You gotta know people, pay. I know companies that are still waiting for a license. They just thought they were gonna come and apply in New Jersey. Or New York City. Look at New York City. They had a thing. They were giving licenses only to people. You remember that? In New York, they wanted the ideal medical marijuana owner as an ex-convict who went to prison or got in trouble for marijuana. This is his second chance. Check it out. It's fucking insane. Can't get a license in New Jersey.
That is kind of crazy, but they should do something for those poor fucks that went to jail for weed. Nobody should have went to jail for weed.
No.
It's ridiculous.
No.
It's a ridiculous thing to put people in jail for. And you put people in a cage for that, especially while everything else is okay. Doesn't make any sense.
Look what you find out now. Look at this guy today. I got the fresh out of smoking the fucking joint of this shit this morning. Thank God the guy's cute. The second human name, yeah, the guy's name was Antonio. He was cute. The car 2 minutes.
What? I still can't hear you. Wait a minute. It's awfully loud down here. What?